I'm going to ask Luke to do what he always does for me and does so well. Would you please review the agenda? Council, will you also do so? See what we can add or take off. I have added, for your information, presentation of the Mount Rainier Board of Elections unofficial results so people can know. Those results will be certified on Wednesday and then officially presented at the meeting on Monday. So Luke, will you please?
Sorry. Would you like me to read the agenda, Mayor?
Yes, sir. I certainly would. That would be my pleasure.
Thank you. The agenda for Tuesday, May 4th, 2021, 7 p.m. legislative meeting of the Mayor and Council. Number 1, call to order, Pledge of Allegiance. Number 2, review the agenda. 3, Mayor and Council member event announcements. 4, closed session summary. 5, presentation by the Mount Rainier Board of Elections. 6, presentation by MJ Park for May Month of Peace. 7, a special presentation. 8, swearing-in ceremony for Linwood Alston, Chief of Police. Brian Freyer, Administrative Lieutenant. Daniel Ruffin, DFC. Dewan Marshall, Officer. Sean Harden, Officer. Senator Augustine 9 will make a presentation to Private First Class Abdul Allah Harazim, who performed a life-saving act in the city. 10 will be public comments. Then we will get into old business with the discussion of the tax rates and fiscal year 2022 budget. Ordinance 08-2020, appointing a Citizen Police Review Advisory Board. Then Ordinance 05-2021, amendments to Chapter 7, licenses and permits. Next is Ordinance 06-2021, amendments to Chapter 3A of the City Code. Under new business, we have Spring Park renovation concept plan, tree commission appointment, Mayor and City Council reports, and adjournment.
Very good. Thank you so very much. All right. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
I have an amendment. That's okay.
I will accept your amendment now if the others will.
I suggested earlier that if we actually voted to amend the budget tonight, then that would save the future council from having to deal with that transparency rule in the council rules that says you can't amend the budget on the same night that you vote on it. So we would have had to have dealt with it ourselves tonight if we were going to do that. But I don't know if you're interested in just going ahead and voting on the amendments. We already agreed to them. And that just clears the way for the next council to not have to deal with that part. It's up to you all what you want to do.
I would appreciate that, Brian. I would second that.
It's been properly moved and seconded to add the approval of the amendment to the budget tonight and add it to the agenda. Hearing anyone else, so I have 3 folks saying yes. I'll say yes. All right, let's add it to the agenda and let's move it up to the old business. I see you doing it as I talk. Thank you, John. No. You're not talking about the tax rate, are you, Brian?
Well, that's in the amended budget. So we're not voting on the budget, final vote. We're just amending it. That's all we're doing.
Okay, so we're amending the budget to what? To the 0.79?
Yeah, that's what we agreed on, and they still have to do the public hearing on that. But
long as that is clear.
Yeah.
That's the right place, John. I can do it right there. Thank you. Anything else to the budget? To the agenda. And that's a good point, Brian. Anyone else? Add, subtract?
What is number 7?
I don't know. Somebody need to tell me that. I was going to ask that same question. And John's finna jump off the chair. He doesn't want to tell you. He want to wait till we get there. John, who's making that presentation?
It's a presentation made on behalf of the other parts of Mayor and Council.
Oh, all right. Then I'm going to leave that alone.
Okay.
John, Brian, I think you and I are excluded. They said the other part of Mayor and Council.
Well, okay.
How do you feel about being the other?
Give me a week and I'll tell you.
Anyway, thank you so much. But we also have Wanda from Delegate Diana Fennell's office, and I would like to recognize her after we approve the agenda. She did ask, Delegate Fennell did ask to have her come to this meeting tonight, requested a link. And so I don't want her to have to stay here all night. I'd like to approve the agenda, then turn the floor over to her, then go back to the agenda if that's okay with everyone.
I move that we approve the agenda as amended.
May I get a second?
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. All those in favor of the agenda to approve it as amended, let it be known by aye.
Aye.
Aye. I only had two. I had a Nedler and I have three. Thank you so very much. We have an agenda. Having approved the agenda, I would like to turn it over to Wanda. Wanda, please state your full name for us for the record.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Wanda Gorm. I am the Chief of Staff for Delegate Diana Fennell for District 47A. I come to bring you greetings from Delegate Diana Fennell. She could not be here tonight. She's with her sick mother, so I'm standing in for her. She would have, I'll bring congratulations to your new police chief and your police force. Citations are forthcoming. I congratulate the incoming mayor. So those citations are forthcoming. I just want to bring greetings to you all and also invite you to the District 47 legislative update on tomorrow at 6:30, I believe. And that's all I have for you guys.
All right. Thank you so very much. And excuse me?
I said thank you for allowing me to come in and speak.
Oh, you are absolutely welcome. I think this is your first at this Zoom kind of meeting with us. And
Yes,
so we're happy to have you, glad to see you. And I know my new mayor and council and my Ward 2 representative will definitely be reaching out to you. And I will take time to personally introduce you to them, all right?
Thank you. Also, our new constituent liaison was supposed to be on, but she's having problems getting on. Her name is Gloria Albright. She would be the new constituent service person that you would contact. She is our liaison, excuse me, okay?
Thank you so much. And say her name one more time for the record.
Her name is Gloria Albright, Aright.
And would you put her name and telephone number and email in the chat box?
I
so
surely
that everybody will be able to get it?
Okay, I surely will.
Thank
Wanda,
you so very
I'm here.
much.
You're
Hello. Yes, I'm here. I made it. Hello, everybody.
Are you Gloria?
Yes, that's Miss Gloria.
All right, Gloria, introduce yourself if you don't mind, and you can put your own name and phone number in the chat box.
Okay, gladly. My name is Gloria Albright. I'm the new liaison for Delegate Fennell, and I look forward to working with you guys, and I hope we can have a good relationship going. I know we can.
I think we would love to have a great relationship, but we certainly want you to put some effort into it so that it's a two-way street.
That's right.
All right. Thank you so very much. Any questions or comments from council to either of the representative from Delegate Fennell? Hearing none, ladies, thank you so very much for being here, and give Delegate Fennell our best and hope for the recovery of her mother.
She just called me. That was her on the phone. She wanted me to let you all know that why she couldn't be there. That was her just calling me. So.
All right. Very good. I think you've taken care of that.
Okay. And I'm going to put Gloria's information in the chat box. Okay.
Thank you so very much. Looking forward to it.
So, Gloria, we don't have to stay. Once I put your chat information in, we'll leave the meeting because it's their council, their meeting.
But you're welcome to stay. You can learn something. If you're going to be our liaison, you get to know what our issues are.
I'll put your information in.
All right. Thank you. I am now going to, yes.
Mayor Miles, can I interrupt for 1 second?
Please.
Councilmember Nedler, could you please go to your door and receive some items from Sergeant Calloway, please? Thank you.
Councilmember Netler, they want you to go to your door.
Should I put my pants on first?
Yes,
I would
please.
hope so.
Please do. May I tell you, Zoom is live, baby. Zoom is live.
I have
Go
my
to the door
pajamas on.
like you are.
Oh, well. They've seen worse, I'm sure.
Well, I don't know.
No, you don't.
Now I do. So there's special presentation coming forth. Thank you. While he's waiting, I'm going to ask the mayor and council to prepare to give council announcements, event announcements, or anything they would like to announce at this time. Mr. Netler's not going to miss anything, so please go. I'll go with Ward 1.
This is Luke. I can start. Just letting everybody know the Native Plant Network, that work is beginning. If you would like for your yard to get a visit from folks who are working with the Audubon Society, we can do that. We look at your yard. We try to give you some advice, guidance, tips on how you can turn your yard into more of the native habitat that it once was. So shoot me an email, lchesick@mountrainiermd.org, or if you would like a yard visit. They are being done by one of your neighbors, so it's a really fun thing, and it's free of charge, of course. Also, the Sierra Club's Maryland chapter, they have taken a liking to Mount Rainier's Native Plant Network idea, and we're making it a part of a broader effort in the state of Maryland to create a native wildlife and plant corridor. And our next meeting with the Sierra Club's Maryland chapter is Thursday, May 27th at 8 p.m. And if you'd like to get the Zoom invite to that meeting, again, just shoot me an invite at lchesick@mountrainiermd.org. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you for that. Selena?
Just to remind everyone that on May 13, the COVID-19 vaccine Pfizer will be here in Mount Rainier. They could pre-register. Feel free to reach out to me so we could help. This is joint effort between Joe's Movement Emporium, the Neighborhood Pantry, the City of Mount Rainier, and we're looking for volunteers and also people that need the vaccine. There's 500 vaccines that are going to be coming. So we want to make sure that every resident that needs it in Mount Rainier gets it. And if we have to make a waiting list for more people, we'd rather know what else is needed. The other thing is bike to school day is here this week. So Thursday and through this week, you're going to see a lot of little ones biking and walking to school. Please encourage them. And if you're walking, if you need to travel through the city, if you could walk or bike, it would be definitely perfect. So thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Mr. Netler is back, so I'm going to go to Scott Cecil, and then we're going to come to you, Mr. Netler.
All righty.
Yeah, I'm muted.
Hey, sorry about that. I'm in the same room as John, so we're dealing with audio feedback issues. I have no announcements.
All right, thank you so very much. Mr. Netler, the floor is yours.
I would just like to tell everybody that as of 8 o'clock on Monday, I will no longer be an elected official in the great city of Mount Rainier. And congratulations to Jarrett, who will be taking my seat, which makes me very comfortable leaving the council. And also congratulations to all the candidates and to the election board for what I believe, at least as far as I've heard, a pretty seamless, smooth election in the middle of the pandemic. So thank you all.
Very good. Thank you. And I guess I will take a few minutes, not very long, but I want to congratulate all of you. I think you ran an election. You made it something that got people out of their homes to go down to the polls, and to that wonderful Mount Rainier Board of Elections. I think we need to give them a round of applause for such an awesome job, for their foresight, for the very fact that they moved it to the Nature Center, and the way they had it laid out. It was absolutely wonderful to see them in action and to see how smoothly the election ran. It's not easy running. I know folks kind of look at it and say, oh, yeah, I just run around knocking on doors. It's controversial. It's hard. you're taking a risk on getting insulted on every door you knock. And when you stand out there, rain, shine, sleet, or snow, people say awful things to you. I've been on that side. I've been out there in the rain. And so I just want to congratulate and thank all of you for going out there, getting it done, standing up. And now Brian and I can leave in peace on May 10th, knowing that we're leaving you all behind to carry forth and carry on. So congratulations on the new mayor-elect. Congratulations to you getting back on the board, Luke, on the council. Jared, I don't see you, don't know where you are, but I am certainly glad you're representing Ward 2 with our council member, Scott Cecil. So now I'm on the side where I can call y'all up in the middle of the night and talk about what's going on. And boy, when that dog barked next to my house, that phone call is coming, right, Brian? But on the more sober side, thank you all and congratulations. Looking forward to the swearing in on Monday. My announcements for today are very, very small, and that we did have Senator Malcolm Augustine in the city today, and he did a great, outstanding job in helping us present to you what is coming up very shortly in terms of swearing in our new officers, our chief, and everybody. So that has been an experience, and he actually stayed for a while today. So we thank him very much. I don't know if he's going to be on tonight, but we did tape record him, so you will be able to see him as he make the presentations. So that's it for me. I'm going to now go to Luke Chesick and ask him to please give us the closed session summaries.
Thank you, Mayor. The closed session summary sheet for April 20th, 2021, we met at 10:12 p.m. Mayor Miles read the appropriate statutory section for personnel. Transition of staff was discussed. Councilmember Selena Benitez made the motion to go into closed session, and Councilmember Chesick seconded the motion. We closed the meeting under 305B1, Section 1 of the Annotated Code of the State of Maryland to discuss the appointment, employment, assignment, promotion, discipline, demotion, compensation, removal, resignation, or performance evaluation of employees, and to discuss other personnel matters. It was a consensus vote to go into closed session. Those in attendance were Mayor Miles, Councilmember Cecil, Benitez, Chesick, and Nedler. There were no actions taken, and the topics discussed were just the transition of staff. Thank you.
All right, thank you so very much. There is, I guess, one other announcement we should make, and Brian, I was trying to type fast to get you to do it. Would you just kind of talk about the fact that I'll do it. On last Tuesday, we did give a going away thank you to our interim city manager, Latasha Gatling, who served with us from November 18th of last year until April 30th this year. We thought she had done a fantastic job. So staff, not mayor and council, put together a going away goodbye celebration breakfast, and it was attended by almost everybody on mayor and council. And she was very pleased, and thank you all for having her serve. The other announcement I should be making for the record is that on November the 15th, Mayor and Council went into settlement with Dr. Gupta and Dr. Poor, and as of today, made the full purchase of the Gupta property on Perry Street. And so that is now a city facility. The parking is open and available in that parking lot for you to use for city business, for use for parking. So we've expanded our parking ability, and you will hear more from the new mayor and council in terms of the usage that will come out the building. So look forward for more information on that as we move forward. I think both of those things should be recorded in the records, record as announcements. Thank you. That comes up, that brings us to presentation of the Mount Rainier Board of Elections. Were we able to get the supervisor on?
She has not answered,
All
unfortunately.
right, so I'm going to ask you as the city clerk, John, to at least read the unofficial results that are posted on the front door of the city hall, and I think in other locations, so that the residents know on the day following the election what the election results were. I can do it if you can't.
Pulling it up right now.
Was it from you today?
It's from me. Yes, it is. I've got it right here, Mayor. I can
Okay, because
report
I
the
was about
following.
to pull it up for you.
The unofficial results that were certified as of midnight last night, Tuesday, May 4th, reads as follows. For Mayor, Selena Benitez had 468 ballots plus 115 absentee ballots, which made a grand total of 583. Scott Cecil had 146 ballots plus 16 absentee ballots for a grand total of 162 total. Councilmember Ward 1, Luke Chesick, 293 ballots plus 61 absentee ballots for a grand total of 354 total. And Councilmember Ward 2, Jarrett Stolfus, 258 ballots plus 52 absentee ballots for a grand total of 310.
All right.
And that's
Thank
the
you.
report.
Thank you so much. We do not need to take any action of any kind, but it should be reflected in the minutes that the unofficial results of the election that we did receive it. We did not approve it, but we received it. At this point, we have a presentation by MJ Park for May Month of Peace. Is MJ here?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you so much. Hi, MJ. How are you?
Good. Good.
How's Jerry?
He's good.
All right, good.
Thank you, and congratulations to everyone on the election. And Mayor Miles, I hope you got our message
I
to you.
didn't.
Oh, well, we put together a special recognition of you, so hopefully you'll get it. And I just want to thank you as part of my presentation that Mayor Miles has worked with the Park family on many initiatives, one being the bike co-op. But tonight I'm here to talk about May as Month of Peace. And this project was something that I feel her with the council go ahead made this be something for Mount Rainier. And it is to just take the opportunity for May as a blooming month to focus on helping peace bloom and grow. And hopefully we're doing that always, because peace is not for a day or a season, but a way of life. And it does take a lot of intention. And as I listened to Luke share about, the gardens and the work done on what did you say? We'll make recommendations or we'll help you with your gardens. I feel like peace is something too that we can all help each other with ideas of how to grow peace in our hearts, how to grow peace with our neighbors, how to grow peace in the city of Mount Rainier, because peace in our hearts, peace in the city, peace in the states, then peace in the world. So we're going to have a calendar that will have ideas, and it's going to come out. I've been working with Aaron, and he will be publicizing it. It'll just be giving a little idea, like maybe meditate or talk to your neighbor or smile at a friend or pick up trash or plant a garden, whatever. But hopefully that each of you will take this opportunity, especially with our season of election, to grow peace. And I know I talked to Mayor Miles about more than ever, we need peace now, and especially in our beautiful but challenged world. So thank you for making this an annual event. So I just wanted to take this moment to bring that forward, that it'll hopefully be on the website, and that our citizens of Mount Rainier will realize that this is an initiative that wasn't just for a moment, but an annual that will be reoccurring every May. And I am happy that LFFP and the Park family have helped grow this along with the citizens. So that's all. If there are any questions or clarifications, I think it's a special moment because I'm so proud of Mount Rainier. I've been sharing this. I actually shared it with an international group today from the United Nations. And they were like, wow, tell us more about the city of Mount Rainier, which I did. So thank you.
One of the things that I think you kind of left out is that Mount Rainier adopted May as Peace Month about 10 years ago. We also have a peace bench up here at the Rundle and 30th Street basketball court that was put in. There was actually a little peace garden there. I don't know how well it's being kept now, but that resolution was passed, and somehow I don't think we put in the resolution that we had to pass a resolution every year, but maybe just to make sure people remember when you and I are not here, we might want to go back and look at that legislation so that we can remind people that May is Peace Month in Mount Rainier, whether we do a resolution or not. And thank you for putting that calendar together.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Any questions or concerns for MJ? Hearing none, MJ, thank you so much, and give the family my regards.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, I'm at special presentation, which I have no idea what it is, and the other council's supposed to take over, I think. John?
That is correct.
All right, I am now off the mic. You have the mic.
Okay, well, I'm going to turn it over to the other part of council, which will consist of, go ahead.
Hey there, guys. This is Luke.
Hi, Luke.
How you doing? We have a couple things planned here. We're going to just deal with one person tonight, and we're going to deal with another person at a later time. So we wanted to do one tonight, though, and John was really helpful in helping us plan for tonight. That's why there was a knock at the door at Brian Nedler's house. So we are doing something special for Brian tonight, but that, Mayor, doesn't mean there's not something in the works for you as well.
No, that means I don't have to give Brian another party for leaving the council.
We don't need Brian's. We're getting Brian done now because, we're trying to be as efficient with Brian as Brian is with us on city council. So that's the idea here. John, do you have anything on the screen that you want to pull up for me? Or I can pull up the resolution, or would you like to pull up the resolution, please?
I will pull up the resolution for you, sir.
Thank you.
Oh, my gosh. Brian, I didn't do your resolution way back when. It's a good thing.
So this is our resolution that we put together. So while MRBOE was counting the votes last night, Selena, Scott, and I were sitting not too far from each other. And we typed this up and passed this around. Hopefully we got everything right. We probably didn't, because as Brian and the mayor are found to point out, we often don't get things right, but hopefully everything in here is right. I can't see Brian's face right now, and I
can't either. I want to see him.
I really can't see his face right now, and that's okay. But we have drafted up this resolution. So I'm going to read it right now. This is a resolution to honor Councilmember Brian Nedler for his distinguished service to the city of Mount Rainier. Brian Nedler has served the citizens of Mount Rainier with great skill and distinction. Brian Nedler has served in the office of mayor and as a city council member for over 20 years. Brian Nedler has championed efforts to remove blight, promote the welfare of the people of Mount Rainier, and protect the historical character of its neighborhood, including organizing legal and public pressure that led to the purchase of 3200 Rhode Island Avenue and its eventual redevelopment, implementation of the city's vacant property tax, implementation of the city's urban forest code, helping to reestablish the city's tree canopy, rewriting many of the city's outdated code provisions, implementation and administration of the mixed-use town center zone, liaison to the city's design review board, helping ensure redevelopment did not come at the expense of the architectural character of the neighborhood. Whereas Brian Nedler has had the vision to push for the purchasing of key properties along Route 1 that has, is, and will lead to the redevelopment of the city of Mount Rainier. Whereas Brian Nedler served as a calming influence for the body of city council, ensuring the city of Mount Rainier continued functioning and moving forward even through the many challenges the city of Mount Rainier faced during his tenure. Whereas Brian Nedler's stewardship of the body of the city council and office of mayor will enable future generations of leaders to achieve their visions. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the city council chambers of the city of Mount Rainier be heretofore referred to as the Brian Nedler City Council Chambers. And I believe we have a plaque that was just dropped off at Councilman Nedler's house.
So Councilmember Nedler, the
No.
small white box is what you'll open first.
You can't do that. You can't do that. That's not right. I mean, oh my God. I mean,
Why can't they do it?
well, they're going to do it evidently, but I don't deserve that. So.
Oh, really? Oh, you
I'm
know
so-
what? That's why they doing it to you.
Oh,
And
you
need to put the
guys!
tape
Oh my
back
God!
on the camera.
They've already got it on the wall. Oh my God!
Show it to
I would
me,
say a
please.
profanity right now, but I would probably get myself in trouble.
Say what?
Oh my God, you guys!
Show it to me, too,
Councilmember
please.
Nedler, could you please open the small white box that you
Well,
received?
First of all, let me say there's
First
one
of all,
one correction to the resolution because I don't want to take credit where credit is not due. First of all, a lot of those things were group efforts, but the vacant property, it's not the vacant property tax, it's the vacant property registration. Because I was not, okay, so Melinda knows this. So with the long ago, with the lawyers, they told us we were not able to have separate tax categories for vacant property. We were told that for years. And Melinda, I can't remember, one of the newer council members, took that up and the new lawyer said, oh yeah, you can do that. And it's like, So I cannot take credit for that when I tried, but was told we couldn't. So if you could just change the word tax to registration, that would make that before you sign it, that's all. You don't have to right now.
That would make it absolutely correct.
Yeah, I don't want to take credit for something I didn't actually do.
And if I remember correctly, Brent Bolden, our future.
Was it Brent? Okay, good. And I also want to say, even though I know we have major higher level staff and a state senator, the poor police officer who actually got my neighbors out there on their porches to witness me at my front door, I want to show you, I did have my pajamas on. They're plaid. Yes, they are. But hey, I don't care at this point. Anyway,
we missed whatever your point was, but woo, 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 woo. Let's clap, everybody. Brian, congratulations for trying to turn down something that somebody tried to give you.
John, what am I supposed to open?
So much of you.
The small white box is what you open first, sir. The small white box. It's not the long one, the smaller one.
Smaller one.
Smaller
and
one
stay
that's
on
heavy.
the camera.
The smaller one that's heavy,
I'm on
sir.
the camera. It's all wrapped up. Oh, there it is.
Okay, now
Very.
okay, now there you go. Now take it out and hold it up.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Can you read that?
Councilmember Chesick, do you want to read the inscription, please?
We can't hear you. Unmute.
That's perfect.
Sorry, guys. Thank you, Brian Nedler, Councilmember Ward 2. Your leadership and guidance has been a part of our success, and you will never be forgotten. City of Mount Rainier presented this 4th day of May, 2021.
Oh, thank you so much. That's beautiful.
Can I see it, Brian?
I think they upstaged you, but your party was the best party I've ever had in my life. But
that's okay. It was a
none
good
of them,
party.
none of them were there, so they have no idea.
Besides, Brian, it was the first going away party ever given by the city of Mount Rainier to a council member. And you earned it then, and you certainly are earning that plaque now. So
And I came back to haunt you just instead. So there you are.
And now, Mayor and Councilmember Nedler, there's a special guest on the line tonight who's going to present something to you. Senator Malcolm Augustine. Are you there?
I sure am. How
I
is
didn't
everybody?
think he was coming back.
I did. I'm back again in Mount Rainier. Councilmember Nedler, I just want to say thank you so much for your service to Mount Rainier. It's just amazing. And your wit as well, as I get a chance to.
The driest wit in the universe.
I mean, it's so dry.
Now. Okay.
It's so dry, but it's I've enjoyed it through the years. It will be missed. You will be missed too. And we have an official citation. Be it hereby known to all that sincerest congratulations are offered to Councilmember Brian Nedler, City of Mount Rainier, in recognition of having the council chambers at City Hall named in your honor. Your outstanding 20-year tenure as a council member and 3 years as mayor. Continue to impact the community. Best wishes for a happy and well-deserved retirement. Presented on this 4th day of May, 2021 by Senator Malcolm Augustine. I really say congratulations. And I'll make sure I get it delivered to you as well, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you. Very nice. All right. What else do I do now? Do I still wait or is this done?
No, hold on 1 minute.
Uh-oh.
I now want to call on Councilmember Selena Benitez, who's going to read something to you, Councilmember Nedler.
Hi, Brian.
I like it.
You know, we're taking over ambushing you, so our favorite part of all this. All right. Let me move so I could read this to you. So there's a proclamation for Brian Nedler, and it reads, whereas Councilmember Brian Nedler is retiring after his many years of service with the Prince George's County and the Mount Rainier community, he has transformed the lives of the residents with an unrelenting focus on ensuring that everyone has access to resources that help them realize their best self. And whereas he was born and raised in the rural Central Ohio and came to the DC area in 1986, he received his JD in 1992 from the University of Maryland Law School, which he attended at night while working full-time day job. Mm-hmm. He was admitted to the Maryland Bar in 1996.
That's right.
And whereas Councilmember Brian Nedler has lived in Mount Rainier since 1992, has served on City Council on and off since 1997, and has served as mayor from November 2002 to May 2005. And whereas over his 20-year tenure on and off City Council, Councilmember has always stood for a fair and equitable delivery of service and its enforcement. He has sponsored half dozen of ordinances to strengthen city services, preserve neighborhoods' assets, and identify innovative solutions to challenges. And whereas thoughtful through the years, he has demonstrated care for the environment and his landscape throughout his participation with the City Street Commission and his certification with the state.
You went away, Selena.
There you go. Sorry, we're like everywhere. It's on personal level with his well-known large-size garden surrounding his current home. And whereas Councilmember Brian Nedler and former State Delegate Jimmy Tarlow co-authored A History of the City, it was published in 2016. And whereas Councilmember Brian Nedler has been a strong advocate for the
You are completely gone away again, Selena.
Can you hear me?
No.
Okay. Sorry, Brian, you've been very busy in this 20 plus years. So I will, Councilmember Brian Nedler has been a strong advocate of what he has deemed as quality of life issues, and to those that have been and will continue to be a top priority for him. And now, therefore, let it be resolved, be it proclaimed by the Prince George's County Council that Councilmember Brian Nedler is saluted for his tireless advocacy and for his public service to the city of Mount Rainier and Prince George's County. Signed by Council Vice Chair Denny Tavares and Council Chairman Kevin Hawkins. So congratulations, Brian.
Oh my God, this is, I don't know how did you get all this information? I mean, this is incredible.
When you leave us alone, Brian, we do a lot of work together.
And somebody proofread it because you got every single thing correct. Oh my God. That was
I'm going to disagree, Brian Nedler. they have your date wrong.
Which
I think
date?
they say 1987.
No, I got that. It actually says 97. She misspoke. It says 97.
It should be 97 because that's when I went off the council and you came on.
No, I caught that too, and that was a bit of my dry humor when I said, well, anyway.
Speak.
Senator, it wasn't dry humor. It was actual, I would call it sarcasm, but that's okay. You can call it dry humor if you want. But that means I didn't take a lot of things really seriously a lot of the times. Anyway, I'm very moved, everybody. Thank you. I really would love to know who got all those facts together. My God. That's my whole life. So, and everything's beautiful, and you have totally surprised me. You are really devious. And I'm sure they're going to get you, Melinda, so don't worry. You're not going to get...
Oh, Brian, I got to tell you, there's a person that I will not name that they're going to choke when I get got.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what
Leave that on the table.
Okay. Anyway, I just want to say thank you very much. And again, a lot of the 20 years was a group team effort. You're talking about the purchase of the property at the Rhode Island and Eastern Avenue. That I did not do on my own. Believe me, that was a 25-year effort to get that liquor store closed. And then Melinda was there when we purchased the old funeral home and consolidated that property. Anyway, I could go on and I will later go on for a bit when I give my farewell speech. But, none of this is possible by just one person. And I just want to say that. And so I appreciate it. And I'm not going anywhere. I'll be around, by email and by Skype or whatever, Zoom or whatever you need. And I'll also be asking you to allow me to be part of one of the boards or commissions later on to continue my service to the city. So thank you all. Thank you, Senator, especially. And Denny Tavares, I don't think anybody's on the call from her staff, but I'll send her a thank you. I don't see anybody on there. So I'll send her a thank you as well, and Calvin Hawkins. So thank you very much. And let's not make this meeting too long.
And the plaque in the council chambers is temporary. The bronze one will be put up later on in the year.
Well, okay. All right. I guess I got to put up with that. So, okay.
All right, Brian, don't take it away from them. They've had
No, I'm not.
it.
I'm embarrassed. That's all. And I don't know.
Don't be embarrassed.
I try to shut up when you're speechless. You should shut up. So that's what I'll do.
You deserve it, Brian. Every bit of it.
Excuse me. Thank you. And for that other part of the council, you all did an excellent job. I don't think he had a clue. Well, I didn't either, but it went well. When you say, Brian?
Yes, I think that was probably one of the most, that was one of the best surprises I've ever had.
It went well. Thank you. And thank you to all of you for doing it. I will agree with you. There's no one more deserving than Brian. I could talk about him forever, but I won't. I would probably embarrass him. So I shan't do that. I shall leave him alone. Thank you, Brian.
I just want to say, 2011, the mayor did throw me a party, and she did embarrass me. So she's
I did. But he liked it. Thank you. That brings us to the swearing-in ceremony. And thank you so much, Senator, for being here for this. This will be the first time that we've ever tried to tape a swearing-in because of the Zoom meeting, and to present it as if it was part of our program. Council, today, as I mentioned earlier, the senator was in the city, and he helped me do the swearing in and the presentations to our newly sworn chief and our newly sworn officers, lieutenant and detective. So at this moment, I am again going to turn the meeting over to John. I'm going to ask John to take the next 5 minutes for you to see what we did today while we were away from you.
approximately 2 p.m., officers received a phone call to the 4200 block of 34th Street in Mount Rainier. This call was initially to be one of assistance to responding ambulatory units. The details of the call were not yet known. Upon arrival, PFC Al-Harzim was immediately presented with a 19-month-old male infant who, while playing with siblings, fell on an unknown object puncturing his chest. The wound was deep and bleeding profusely. PFC Al-Harzim immediately retrieved his first aid kit from his cruiser and began to compress the wound to control the bleeding, all while keeping the infant awake and alert and attempting to keep the mother calm. EMTs arrived on scene and transported the child to a local hospital where the child was able to be seen and placed in stable condition. The actions that PFC Al-Harzim took that day contributed to the saving of this young life and brings great credit upon himself, this agency, and the city of Mount Rainier. For those who are wondering, the gentleman here, Derek Rosenberger, is the father of the young man that was affected twice by PFC Al-Harzim.
So I just, again, I heard the story and it just, you line, but you also save lives. And that's just such a amazing thing. I know that, I'm sorry, I know the guy named Derek on your shirt. I'm not sure, what's your last name, sir?
Rosenberg.
Mr. Rosenberger, I know that he is grateful too for this and for what you did, and we just say thank you so much. And so with this, we have an official citation. Be hereby known to all that sincerest congratulations are offered to Abdul Al-Harzim in recognition of your quick and steadfast action to save the life of an infant. Rosenberg, your brave act of courage is praiseworthy and enhances your character as an upstanding officer. We are appreciative of your good works. Best wishes presented on this 4th day of May 2021 by Senator Malcolm.
It's going to be really fast because I'm shy. Or I start going crazy in front of cameras. But if it was not for this man, my son would not be here. Thank you.
I'd like to present to you the Chief's Award of Excellence. And what it says is Chief Award of Excellence presented to Abdul Al-Harzim, Police Officer First Class, in recognition of your quick response by rendering first aid on February 11, 2021 that assisted in saving the life of a 19-year-old child. May 2021.
All right, thank you. Thank you so very much for that. Of course, we took about an hour or so, maybe a little bit longer today to get all of the swearing-ins done. We did not show you word for word or piece for piece, but know that we took time with the families. We took pictures as we always have done in the past, so that they have something to remember this occasion. And as of today, we have sworn in. I can't see it, John. John, you got to roll down just a little bit. All right, he didn't do that for me. Okay, there it is. There it is. Thank you. As of today, Chief Austin has been sworn in as the Chief of Police. Brian Freyer has been sworn in as the Administrative Lieutenant. Daniel Ruffin was sworn in as the Detective First Class. DeJuan S. Marshall was sworn in as a police officer, and so was Sean Harden, sworn in as a police officer. And they are, I guess, on duty, ready to work. So if you see them, please welcome them. They will be out and about in the community. Thank you to MRTV for putting that together. I mean, very quickly. and having it available for us tonight. Thank you again, Senator Augustine. Anything am I missing, John?
Oh, that was it.
All right. Thank you also very much. That brings me to public comments. Unless, Senator, I don't want you to just sit there and smile. Would you like to give us any comments before we go to the next item? Because after that, I'm going to try to push us out of here.
No, Mayor, I will just say congratulations to all. It was an amazing day in Mount Rainier. I'm grateful for the service of everyone, particularly the officers and Councilmember Nedler. It's just it's a great day in Mount Rainier. And so I will say good night and congratulations to all. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. And you too are welcome to stay all night with us, although we will not spend the night. Thank you so much. Have a great evening.
Good night.
Good night.
Mayor,
Yes, you have the floor.
if I might take a point of personal privilege,
You certainly may.
I know there were two people that were intending to be a public comment. I told them, I didn't know about this. I told them that it would probably be after 8 o'clock. We're 5 minutes till. So if we could put off public comment for like 10 minutes perhaps and let them get there, that would be appreciative.
All right. What do I need to do? Are they here?
No, they're not.
I can always, when they come on, allow them to speak
Okay, appreciate it.
rather than holding the agenda.
Okay, thank you.
Hey,
All
Mayor,
right.
can you hear me?
I can hear you, Scott. Go ahead.
Hi, I know that there's another resident on the call to make a public comment, and there's another resident who sent their public comment in writing. If we get through the two of those, it may be enough time for Brian's guests to arrive as well.
All right. So then I go back to where I was. I was ready to open the floor for public comments, and I would do that at this time. If there's anyone on the line in the meeting that would like to take this moment to give public comments, you are given 3 minutes. This is your opportunity. You may talk about anything you wish. The council does not necessarily have to respond. Some may, but generally we do not. So John, can you tell me who's ready to speak? Can the person just identify themselves? I'm good with that as well.
Can I be heard? Can I be heard?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yes.
Okay.
Is this Vernon? Is this Vernon Sears?
Hi, Melinda. I'm going
Hi,
to miss
Vernon.
you. You know that.
I love you too.
You're the most fun mayor we've had.
Thank you, Vernon.
Okay, I don't think my camera's working at the moment.
Oh, it's working. I see you.
Okay, well, hello. And Scott, I want to thank you for all your help. We will be presenting a petition at some time soon, probably the next meeting, waiting for the signatures to be verified. This is in regards to putting speed bumps or traffic controlling devices, as you all call them, on 33rd Street between Rhode Island Avenue up to Bunker Hill Road. I just want to stress that there is a necessity for this for the safety of families, children, and old men too. So again, I would like to say thank you, Melinda, and Selena, welcome. And
All right.
Scott, thank you for all your help.
All right. Thank you, Vernon. Always good to see you.
Always.
All right. Anyone else online?
Mayor, this is Scott Cecil.
Okay, Scott.
Yeah, another resident submitted a public comment in writing. She's not able to be here because she's teaching a class. I shared it with the city clerk. She asked that we read it aloud for her since she can't be here. So if that's an order, I believe the city clerk has it. I can also read it. But if that's not an order, then I would like to submit it written to the rest of the mayor and council.
I'm going to say past practice, behavior, and performance. We have not had public comments written into the record as such, but they can be submitted. and attached to the minute for anyone who wished to see them. If you can give us a summary of those comments, I'd be more than happy to accept.
Sure, that's more than reasonable. Thank you, Mayor. This comment is from Tricia Sawyer, who lives on the 3200 block of Newton Street. And essentially, her comment expresses concern. Well, I'll just read the first sentence. She says, I would like to comment on the inequities when it comes to code enforcement and how the developers are allowed to violate the code without consequence. Then she goes on to describe her displeasure about a construction project here in the city, where she says the developer should have been fined $5,500 for an impervious surface fee and $23,500 in penalties to the city. I'm not sure if those numbers are accurate, but that is what the comment says. So I will be sure to make sure the city code or the city clerk includes Mrs. Sawyer's comment in the meeting minutes. And thanks for giving her space to leave the comment.
Absolutely. Thank you so very much. Are there any other comments for anyone, other residents online?
Just that the one that wanted to speak, I just texted her to tell her that it's time, but I still don't see her. Maybe she's not available. But I just want to say one thing to Vernon. I want to say one thing to Vernon. Every time I go down that block, I slow down to 5 miles an hour because I'm afraid I'm going to run over one of those stray cats down there. So I think we need not only speed humps, I think we need cat crossing signs.
I'm not gonna let you pick up Vernon tonight about cats. I remember Catman over there on 33rd Street. I'm not going there. All right, Vernon, keep the cats walking. All right, anybody else wishing to speak? I will recognize the other two persons that you mentioned, Brian, should they come online. But at this time, I'm going to ask council if we can please move forward. Hearing no objection, I'd like to go to old business. You got to move. Thank you so much. I'm not exactly sure how to take this on, but one of the suggestions tonight was that we actually discuss and approve this tax rate for fiscal year 2022 budget. We are not able to approve the budget tonight, which was our goal and where we were prepared to move. Because of human error from the city of Mount Rainier, we need to do over again the budget hearing, as well as a public notification of our tax rate for 2022. If you have been keeping up with us, the mayor and council has reduced the tax rate to 0.79. And that will keep our budget balanced with where we're going. That means we reduced it again this year. But we also need to make some budget adjustments in this year's budget so we can move forward with some other activities out there. Because of the state's notification, we must hold a public hearing again. We must post the tax rate in a paper of record, and it cannot be posted under the legal section, which somehow we managed to do when we posted earlier. It also must be posted between a certain date and an end date that will be created because of this new change. So I'm going to stop there. I'm going to say, Safanda, are you on the line? I did see you.
Yes, I'm here.
Safanda has been appointed as our new director of finance, and she and I kind of got back and forth, talked with the state. Is there anything else you need to say about this action on the table for item number 10?
No, Mayor, you covered everything. Thank you. And Aaron is on it as well.
Okay, very good. I didn't know.
Yes,
any questions for mayor and council? Any questions from council about how to move forward on this?
Mayor, this is Brian. So I'm not sure how to do this, but if we could vote to approve the amendments that were presented at the work session with the new tax rate, we could do that. And then, of course, legal will have to decide whether we did it properly, because we're obviously not in step with what we're supposed to be doing. but I would like to make the motion to adopt the amendments to the budget that were presented at the work session and to adopt the 0.79 tax rate for the coming fiscal year.
Second.
Now, it's been properly moved and seconded. Any further discussion? And this is only the amendments to the budget.
Right.
So those who are listening, if you were at the previous work session and first reading, we made some changes in certain areas. For example, we reduced some line items. And in one area, we also increased the budget. Not the budget, but the line item in terms of the renovation of police station, the allocation of the speed camera funds and how they would be reallocated. We didn't add or take away any money. We simply moved them in different parts of the budget. So we have not changed your budget in terms of the total amount or the amount of revenue, but we did put the money in different line items that we thought was more appropriate. Hearing nothing, all those in favor of the budget amendments that we approved that we didn't approve, that we made at the work session, let it be known by aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Hearing none, those amendments will be made to the budget. That means moving forward now, we need to get out a notice, and I had Shafanda working with his name just ran out of my mind, starts with an S, Zachary. I had her working with Zachary all day today to make sure the notice was correct, that the language was right, and that we can go ahead and get it posted. But Mayor and Council has to vote, I believe, to approve the posting of the 0.79 tax rate change and the dates for which the public hearing will be held. Safanda?
Yes, that is
Tell them
correct.
the dates. You don't have the dates. You don't know the dates, do you?
Aaron, are you on?
Yes, this is Aaron. Hi, Mayor and Council.
All right.
I do have the dates. I think if we aim to get the CYTR ad in the paper next Thursday, I think that's workable. And that means that we would need in the next few days to plan that public hearing, to schedule that public hearing.
We can do that tonight.
Okay. And the public hearing would just need to fall between May 21st and June 2nd. It could be any time in that window, May 21st to June 22nd.
And what I was suggesting, Mayor and Council, although I will not be here, if we can approve get the yield rate notice out, that you would then vote on the hearing and hold it on Tuesday, May 18th, which would be the third Tuesday in May. And that would be a special legislative meeting that would then take you into your work session.
Mayor?
Yes, I see Luke's hand, but I hear Selena.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought the dates that was sent to us started the 21st. Did that change?
Mayor, I think what Aaron just said is we can get the ad out next Thursday, but we have to have the public hearing and vote between May 22nd and June 22nd. Is that right, Aaron?
Yeah, this is Aaron.
I can't hear you.
Okay. Yeah, this is Aaron. Yeah, so the public hearing has to fall 7 days after the ad runs. So if we run the ad on 5/13, that's next Thursday, it has to be out there for 7 days. And so I think comfortably we can hold that public hearing May 21st to June 22nd, or June 2nd, sorry. May 21st to June 2nd is our window for the public hearing.
So why don't we just hold the public hearing right before the legislative session on June 1st, and then we can vote on June 1st? We can do the public hearing at 6 p.m. on June 1st and vote that night, right?
Yes, you could.
I second that
Yes, you
suggestion.
Yes, you could. I was just trying to push you forward because there's nothing that says you can't get that ad out of here on the 7th of May. The 7th. And be ready to have your discussion and the hearing on the 18th. But you all are going to be here. So you all set your dates. I was just offering a suggestion. And I heard that we're going to post it on the 13th and that you would hold the meeting and the hearing on the first day of June. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think Scott and I both supported that. Selena, what do you think?
I'm fine. Originally I was thinking the 21, so that way it could move forward faster, but if we could do the first week of June, as long as we stick to it, I'm fine.
Okay. So do we need to actually vote on this or do we just, I think you should make it official and put it in the record.
Yeah, we had a budget calendar that we had approved earlier, so I would suggest, I agree with you, Mayor.
Yeah, we have a budget calendar. So I think we need to make this official. So I would like a motion that the mayor and council, in an effort to get the budget hearing and to put out the proper public announcement on May 13th, but then hold a public hearing on June 1, and then have a follow-up legislative meeting to approve the budget.
So
does that make sense?
Second.
Okay, been properly moved. And I got a second. Any further discussion, or did I mess that up so nobody knows what I'm talking about?
Good.
We got it.
You're good.
All right. All those in favor of the motion as presented, let it be known by aye.
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 Opposed? Hearing none, we have a path forward. Safanda and Aaron, please make sure that happen. I'll call me or whatever you need tomorrow. Let's make sure it's done. Thank you so very much.
Mayor, if I might interrupt you for a second, we have the resident who wanted to speak at public comment on the line or on the call. So if you don't mind to recognize Mary Lee, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Mary Lee, you are hereby recognized. You have the floor.
3 minutes.
3 minutes. I see you, but you got to turn up.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Sorry, I was having trouble. I'm Mary Lee Howitt, 4000 block of 31st Street, also a tree commissioner. And my comment has to do with the previous comment that Scott started to talk.
You went away.
Okay. I'm having some delay. Can you guys hear me?
You're going in and out, so we're not hearing you very well.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So I know we've had a lot of emails about the Mount Rainier Overlook development, and I felt like it was important to get on the public record about some of my concerns as a resident and tree commissioner. I wanted to provide a quick recap for those who are not familiar. So the vacant lots at 37th and Newton Street were bought and are being developed into 6 new houses with detached garages. There used to be a house and barn in the property that were destroyed and demolished by 2005. The property is a large plot of land, about 1/2 acre, and it was vegetated with many large protected trees under our tree ordinance. The Tree Commission became aware of the illegal cutting of trees in early October when a neighbor reached out to the Tree Commission. And we've been emailing with city staff and city council, and I know all of you are very aware of this, to voice concerns about the violations in the code in 2 areas. The Urban Forest Code and then the impervious surface fee. To date, it is my understanding that the city has levied no tree ordinance fines despite multiple violations of the Urban Forest Code under Chapter 12B and no impervious surface fee for impervious structures on the site under Chapter 3 of the Building Code. As I think many of you can appreciate, these codes were hard fought and represent how we as a city can mitigate damage to the environment and use the fees to make investments in green infrastructure elsewhere in the city. I also want to highlight that we are talking about a developer who will make a profit, likely a significant one from this project, and residents are held to these codes. The city code requires any new impervious structure beyond 150 square feet to pay a fee of $1 per square foot of impervious surface. The fees collected through this ordinance are used to purchase, plant, and maintain public trees. The impervious surface fee is based upon the building permit in the impervious surface created by the new project. In this case, the roofs of all 6 house units are new impervious structures and should be assessed the fine. At this point, I've heard a lot of mixed information on why this fee isn't being applied. And I'll say, to me, none of it makes sense. This code is not new. It's been around since 2013 and has been exercised many times on development projects, and I can provide a list. To move forward, I have the following recommendation, and I please request the following for you to consider tonight. Please request the city lawyer provide a written opinion on the legality of this section of the code, section 3-105, permit fees, and subsection F, the mitigation fee for impervious surface construction. And if there are problems, please make recommendations to address clarifications within the code. And please make sure this legal opinion is provided to the city and made publicly available. And thank you for your consideration. Sorry, that was a lot. I was just trying to cram it all in.
But I think you got it all in, and we thank you so very much. And we also thank you for your diligence and your service to the city. It has been also ongoing and continuous. So I think we have accepted those words, and we will move forward with the new mayor and council addressing them later. Thank you again for coming on. Brian, is there someone else?
I think Scott might have read, Mary Lee, there was someone else you mentioned. I think Scott might have read his or her comments earlier. I think that took care of it, right? Scott?
Scott, are you there?
I'm not certain, Brian. The person that I read for was Tricia Sawyer from the 3400 block of Newton Street.
Mary Lee, there's someone else you had lined up. We're going to have to move on, I think, but your words were very well spoken and taken to heart.
Absolutely. And thank you again. All right. Then that's going to bring us back to the agenda. And that's going to be item number 11. We have had this on and off, and I think we decided now we've gone over it, reviewed it. Everybody has included the lawyer's comments, etc. are there. And the idea behind this is that the general purpose of the ordinance is to provide for citizen participation in reviewing police department policies, practices, procedures, and to provide a prompt, impartial, and fair investigation of complaints by individuals against police officers and employees in the police department. We also asked our attorney to look at it in terms of the passing of the LORs or whatever that thing is. I never get the initials correct. And she did not have see where there was a conflict with what was here. So at this point in time, council, what would you like to do? I move that we approve ordinance 08-2020.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. All those, any further discussion?
Mayor, I would like just to say how appreciative I am that you've championed this. I know, Scott, also you've been behind this. I want to recognize both of you, and all of us are supportive, I think. But this has been a long haul. I think probably this is going to need to be amended again by the new council. This is a very new sort of thing now that Leobar is gone, L-E-O-B-R, I think, Mayor.
That's the right words.
I don't know. I got it in my head because we had to deal with it so many times. Anyway, I would just like to get this passed as, to get it done. And then you all are going to have to probably tinker with it more than once and get the people appointed to it. But just want to say thank you to the mayor.
Thank you. Any other comments or discussion? Hearing none, all those in, all those in favor of ordinance 08-2020, let it be known by aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, it is now an official act. And I would like to suggest to John, please make sure, as you've done in the past, that all of these items get signed. And council, please make yourselves available to come to City Hall. I have them brought to you so you can sign them. Thank you so much. Can I go back to the agenda now, please? Thank you so much. The next item on the agenda, Brian, is yours. This is going to be ordinance 05-2021, amendments of chapter 7, licenses and permits. My eyes are failing, so Luke, you may have to start reading for me, okay?
Gotcha.
The glass killing me.
I sent John the corrected version that came from Alyssa. I hope, John, you saw my... Yes, you did. I can see that that's Alyssa's version of it. I mean, you might remember last time that we had the red line version and we wanted to include the construction dumpsters. We didn't want to strike those out, so Alyssa put them back in for us. This is basically consolidating several places in the code that talked about temporary storage units and construction dumpsters, and code and compliance that suggested that we bring them all together under licenses and permits, which is what this does. And that is probably the fairest summary I can give. There's really nothing new.
Right.
We're moving things from other chapters to this one. So now, whether the dumpster or storage unit is on private or public street, it's all together in one spot. The only thing I will mention that we've got a little problem, even on our city website, is that the fee schedule, and maybe Alma and some others, there's some kind of weird typo thing in the fee schedule that even Alyssa didn't understand. It's probably some kind of translation from like a comma or semicolon. So you may have to amend that later if it's just not a typo, but I think it's just either a typo or a glitch. But we're not changing the fees. It's just that there's something weird in the code that's posted on the city website that we didn't deal with here in this particular ordinance. So hopefully staff can figure that out and get Muni Code to correct those weird symbols that are in the fee schedule. I don't think Alma is necessarily on the call tonight, but Chief Alston, I think you're there. So just make a note to yourself about that. Anyway, basically that's it. We're consolidating, cleaning up this part of the code, and I think that's more than a fair summary.
Okay, but I also would like for, not Scott, but for John to roll this up again. One of the things that we agreed to as part of our operating procedures is not to pass an ordinance with strike-throughs, things like that. So the public is entitled to see a clean copy of what we are presenting. And I see a number of strike-throughs that should be deleted. John,
point of order, Mayor. We have to do it that way so that Muni Code can know what we've removed and what we added. So it's required that we show what we're striking out.
And then that can be easily done by the document having one document that shows them what we've done, and a clean copy for mayor and council to sign and for the public to read. We've been doing that now consistently since that last fallout meeting over at Potts Hall. I'm leaving. So what is the pleasure of the three of you left behind? Do you want to go ahead and approve? We can go ahead and approve it, but before it can be issued and signed, it certainly should have the strike-throughs removed.
I would like it to move it as stands.
I agree with Selena.
We're all there.
So we're going to remove the strike-throughs. But we're going to keep a copy with the strike-throughs so that when it's published like it's supposed to, then they'll know what they're striking. So John, if you can give us a clean copy of this at the end of this process tonight, or as quickly as possible, it should be ready for us to vote on now, and mayor and council will sign it when it's been clean copied, right?
Mayor, I hate to disagree. I hate to disagree, but legally, we have to show the strike-throughs so people know what we're removing. If you don't have the strike-throughs, they're not going to know what we took out.
Mayor Miles?
You have the floor.
Yeah, when I said as it stands, it was with the strike-throughs, so it shows.
Okay, fine. Then if that's what you meant, I'm there. I'm good. So at this point, I need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Yes, so moved.
Second.
All right, I have a motion to approve and a proper second. All those in favor of this legislation as presented, let it be known by aye.
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 Opposed?
Aye.
Hearing none. The, the legislation is passed. Thank you. I need to see the agenda, please. John? Okay, I think we're at 13. Ordinance 06-2021, amendment to chapter 3A of the city codes. Brian?
Again, this is part of that consolidation. Both of these work in tandem. The one we just passed and this one is removing the language from chapter 3A and moving it to that permits and licenses chapter that we just voted on. This ordinance also presents a list of our priorities for code enforcement and reduces some of the fines that are being levied, as we've talked about in the past. And that's a fair summary.
All right, any further discussions and concerns? Hearing none, go ahead. You have the floor.
I move that we approve ordinance as presented.
May I get a second? It's been properly moved and seconded. All those in favor of approving the ordinance as presented, let it be known by aye.
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 Opposed? Hearing none, ordinance 6-2021 has been approved. That brings us to new business. And Mr. Nettler, you're having a run on this one. Spring Park renovation concept plan.
You're making me work.
Hey, last full legislative council.
Got to work for my dinner.
You got the work for it, brother.
So ad nauseum, we have discussed this. Basically, all I'm trying to get you to do in my last gasp here is to approve the concept for Spring Park. This plan is not to scale. The next step would be to have a landscape designer actually do the real design with all the dimensions and measurements and cost estimates and all that. So all you're doing tonight is agreeing that these are the major elements that you would like in Spring Park. And then after that, it's off my neck and good luck. So I'm going to move that we adopt this as the concept plan as shown on screen for the Spring Park renovations.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
Yes, this is Scott Cecil.
Scott Cecil, you have the floor.
Brian, is this different than the plan that we looked at the most recent meeting where a couple of residents showed up to speak out against it?
Nope, same one.
Okay.
I think he asked if it was different, but it's the same one. All right. Any other discussion? Hearing none, there's a motion on the floor with a motion and a second. All those in favor of approving this as the concept drawing, let it be known by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, you have a concept, council, to move forward with. It doesn't mean you're locked. It means at least you have a place to move forward. Thank you so much. Tree Commission appointments, number 15. We were given a resume, I received it, and a name, Lester, and I think it's Schumann. And that's
Right.
not right. I see half of it.
Sherman, yeah, you got it. Yeah.
Okay. Interested in being appointed to the Tree Commission. Is he online? Yes, no, maybe not.
Mary Lee is there. She's a tree commissioner. She would like to speak for a second about Lester's application, maybe, because I don't see him. Hate to put you on the spot, Mary Lee.
But she really doesn't have to. All of us received the resume.
Yeah, we did.
it looked good to me, and he's interested in serving. All we have to do is vote to approve.
Well, if I just might mention, he's a very, very long time resident of Mount Rainier.
He sure is.
Yeah, and I'm just so thankful that he's willing to volunteer to be on the commission.
And has been serving in some capacities too.
He's been interested, absolutely, yes.
Yes. All right. Did I get a motion to approve him?
I made the motion to approve.
I thought I heard you. May I get a second, please?
Second.
All those any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving Lester for the tree commission, let it be known by aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, congratulations, Lester. I know you're a welcome addition to the tree commission, and I'm certain they're going to look forward to working with you. All right, Brian, is this where I give the floor to the mayor and council for reports, comments, or whatever you would like to do at this moment?
Just make me last.
Make Brian last. I'm going to start with Ward 1. Start with you, Selena.
I'm here. I got muted. Hold on, let me move. So just to announce, we're having a food distribution again this Thursday, and it's going to be going on until the end of May, June, every Thursday. Tuesday, some of our friends, Reverend Pastor Carmen and Pastor Julio, will be hosting the food distribution at the fire station in Bunker Hill. People could go at 7:30, and they have a variation of dairy and fruits. And the neighborhood pantry, as well as the food distribution, both of us are going to be doing vaccine registration. The food distribution on Thursday, and the pantry on Saturday morning in Allison and 29. So we hope to see you there. If anybody wants to join us to register people, we'll be definitely happy. And if you cannot make it to both locations, we're also doing drop-ins at homes to register people as well. So just reach out to the neighborhood pantry, Joe's Movement, or myself, and we'll be happy to help you out. And I would like to take a more privilege to say it's been a pleasure to serve with both Brian Neller and Mayor Melinda Miles. Lots of learning experience, and I'm coping with the idea that this is one of your big major meetings, your last ones, but it's been a lot of learning for the last 4 years. I am very blessed and happy to have met you, to serve with you and collaborated with you in various projects. And I know you guys are not going very far. And Brian, you are basically, there's a whole commission of code that's being set around you, and we're recruiting people. So if you want to join the code commission, that's coming by. I'm going to be writing legislation on it. And Brian, I guess you're going to be a lifetime member. Okay? Mary Melinda Miles, don't go too far, because I'm sure we could have a couple commissions for you as well. All right, but thank you guys for the great service to City of Mount Rainier, and please know that the community loves you, and so do the rest of us. So thank you.
Thank you. Luke?
All right. Well, I'm going to do my thank yous. This is a legislative meeting. I'm going to start. I'm not going to do too much because we've said a lot already. But I'm just going to do a quick little thank you. Mayor, thank you for that conversation we had this weekend at your house through the screen. Appreciate it. I was going to say that I'm going to miss those conversations, but you ain't going nowhere. So all that wonderful advice that you lend out that helps, people like me who have, don't know what they're doing all the time. I'm going to still reach out for that advice, because I'm sure there's going to be stuff that I'm going to see that, you have seen, and I'm going to need help. So, I look forward to more conversations like that, more advice. Brian, well, let me go Selena, Scott, and then we'll finish with Brian, because this is Brian Day. Selena, thank you for being such a wonderful partner in Ward 1. I don't know what we're going to do with you, like having to represent all those weird people over there in Ward 2 now. What's going on? No, I'm kidding. I love all the people in Ward 2. But just been great to tag team. You know, there's lots of resident questions, and we, I think for the most part, make sure no one gets lost through the cracks between the two of us. And I just appreciate that working partnership and working campaigning together. So I just appreciate you. Scott, I want to say thank you for the text message you sent me today. I really appreciated that. I sent you a text back a few minutes ago, but you know, we've had a lot of good conversations, and I'm just looking forward to building our relationship together. There are so many issues that we all have to face here together, and I look forward to working with you on them and continuing to build our relationship. So I want to just thank you for reaching out today. That really meant a lot to me. I'm going to go to my thank you to the neighborhood next and the resident, and then I'll get to Brian. So I always do a thank you for, you know, one resident, and I'm going to have to go with Miss Ella Washington today. Miss Ella, if you live near Taylor, 32nd, Rainier, you always see Miss Ella walking around the neighborhood. And she doesn't miss elections. She didn't miss this one. She got her absentee ballot in. And it's just people like that who are always engaged in the community, who, that word community, a lot of people who live around think of Miss Ella walking around as this is, you know, gives you that sense of community. And so it's also just so important that, you know, people can age in place here in Mount Rainier. And I want to thank you, Miss Ella, just for voting again in a city election. I just appreciate you. And last but not least, Brian Nedler. I want to thank you for teaching me how to play the long game. Taught me how to play the long game very well. How to use my time wisely and efficiently to get stuff done. Focus on that. Drown out the noise. I know I take things personally. I know you know that. I know you know that I have probably the least amount of alligator skin as anybody on here, but I am growing it just a little bit. And I'm always keeping your voice in the back of my mind that you've got to just grow that crocodile skin to drown out the noise, get the stuff that residents expect you to get done. They don't care about the drama. They expect you to get things done. And, you know, I remember I had this in my campaign video. I talked about it. We met at the water hole before, I think in my campaign video, I just said we met for lunch, but I don't think it was actually lunch. It was at the water hole before I ran 4 years ago. We met and we chatted over smoothies or coffee or whatever. And you told me in a Brian way, you said, oh, all these council members, they have 30 different priorities and then nothing ever gets done because nothing's ever important to them. And you told me, and this is kind of like in the cadence in which you talk, you said, you just pick 2 or 3 things and then get those things done. And you said it to me, and I took that really to heart. And so every year in the summer, July or August, I think about that. And I think about the year, and I think to myself, well, geez, this isn't a big year. This time's going to be gone quick. You really only have time to do 2 or 3 things. You have time to legislate in the fall, you have time to budget in the spring, and then before you know it, you got to pass a budget and it's the next year. And, you know, that conversation stuck with me. And as I went through year 1, year 2, that sort of clicked for me. And so I just owe you a debt of gratitude for that. And I just thank you so much for passing on that knowledge. And that's it. Thank you, guys.
All right. Awesome. Brian asked to go last, so I'm going to go to you next, Scott.
Well, thank you, Mayor. Yeah, I guess it's hitting me that this is going to be our last meeting together, the 5 of us.
Well, not quite. You know that on Monday you have a little meeting, and then at 8 o'clock, the hands have to change over. So we'll call the meeting to order. We can talk. Brian usually, well, I think he's going to do it tonight, but in the past, when he was going to leave, he took that night to give his farewell. So you'll get to have us again in a meeting.
Thank you. Well, for me, having been only a council member for 2 years, this group of 5 is always going to be my first council that I worked with. And so every iteration of the council that I'll work with from here on out, I'll be able to compare it to this one. And I think that it's going to be hard for another group to surpass this group, but it is possible. And I'm excited for the new council members that we'll have joining us soon. One of whom we already know who it is, who's going to be my ward mate, Jarrett Stoltzfus, who's been mentioned a couple times. And then to backtrack a teeny bit, I've had some trouble unmuting in time today. So just a couple things. I want to make sure the city clerk saw that I abstained from the Spring Park concept drawing vote. So just please note that in the meeting minutes. And then also, when we were talking about the tree commission appointment, if I'm not mistaken, and if Mary Lee is still here, or Brian, one of you will correct me in the chat maybe, if I'm wrong about this, I believe that the new tree commissioner is replacing Gabriel Popkin, who was my neighbor for my first 3 years of living in Mount Rainier, my next door neighbor. And I learned a ton from him. And he is one of many people who has been gracious enough to give me advice as I've been a council member, especially when he didn't agree with what I was doing. And that's been really helpful. But of course, he's also reached out to me and given me really good ideas. I wouldn't have ever worked on the leaf blower ordinance that I started to introduce this year without his urging and his guidance. And I look forward to working with him on that. And also hopefully a community composting program, which I know folks know that I'm interested in. I know a couple of you are as well. So I just wanted to shout out Gabriel. And then also the Board of Elections was mentioned already. I also want to shout out the city clerk, John Hotzen, who worked, I don't want people to think I'm exaggerating here, but he basically worked 24 hours straight on election day and a bunch of days leading up to it, and has worked a super long day today. And I hope he doesn't mind me saying he commutes like 90 minutes each direction every day. So having to work a 19 to 20 hour day on election day and then still have to drive home for an hour and a half and then get up early and do it again to get back here to prepare us for this meeting is really a heroic effort. So thank you, John. And also, he had a very stressful day today making everything happen for Brian. And John, I don't know if everyone else is aware, but I know we kind of blew up your plans for how you wanted that to go with presenting Brian with everything, but we made it work. It worked and we're good to go. But I hope that didn't cause you too much stress, John. I just wanted to recognize you for that as well. And then the final thing I'll say, thank you to everybody who supported me in the election and for the people who didn't. I can't, Luke mentioned the text message that I sent him today. I sent a handful of kind of emotional texts this morning because I was feeling really great about what happened yesterday. I never ever thought that being soundly defeated in an election would actually make me feel so good about what happened, but it really truthfully did. And I want to thank, Mayor-elect Benitez and Councilmember Chesick and soon to be Councilmember Stoltzfus, because one of the things I hoped to accomplish with the write-in campaign, I mean, sure, winning would have been amazing. Wouldn't that have been something? But I think everyone, including myself, knew that the chances of that happening were very remote, if for no other reason, because it was a write-in campaign. But what was accomplished is that we had one of the highest voter turnouts that we've ever had in the city. And I'm really proud of the other council members and of Jarrett for actually running a campaign, because you didn't have to do that before the elections were uncontested. And you did, and you were all out there canvassing, and you were all out there talking to voters. And damn, you sure did a good job turning out your voters as well, because you shellacked me in both wards. And one of the things that made me feel a little uncomfortable a few weeks ago, and that sort of pushed me over the line about doing this crazy write-in thing, this long shot campaign, is that I realized if Councilmember Benitez won the election uncontested, she would have become our mayor without anyone in Ward 2 ever having voted for her in any type of actual contest. And so I just want people in the city to know, whichever ward you lived in, a big motivating factor for me of deciding to do this long shot write-in campaign was to turn out more voters. I got to talk to hundreds of you, which is going to make me a better council member. And I was also really proud to put out a very detailed and comprehensive platform. That platform's not going to change. It's still a platform that I can engage with as a council member. And I just wanted to say, I had, as I mentioned before, I had trouble unmuting earlier. Brian, I want you to know that if any of your neighbors were out on the front porch waiting to see what was going to happen, I did very sneakily when I was canvassing this weekend, I did let some of your neighbors know, hey, go out on your porch at about 7:15 because the police are going to come knock on Brian's door. And I also didn't want them to freak out and be like, why are the police at Brian's house? So I thought it was nice to give them a heads up. Not everybody answered their door. You know how canvassing goes, but a few of your neighbors did. So if they were out there watching for you, that's why they were there. And I just wanted to let you know that I snuck around while canvassing. I was worried that you were going to see me walk by, but I kind of tried to avoid your house. I went around the block. And then I know I'm filibustering. The last thing I'll say about canvassing, well, first of all, it's exhausting. I canvassed the entire city by myself. The only places I missed were Newton Street down at the bottom of Ward 1, a block or two over there, and then part of 31st Street. I just ran out of steam on Sunday. I didn't get to all of 31st. So those of you whose houses I missed, Mary Lee's one of them, actually. She's on the call. Sorry I missed your houses, but I got to the entire rest of the city. I'm very tired, and I just want to say those houses on the eastern side of the street between Perry and Bunker Hill on 30th, those things are outrageous to canvass because you've got, and I'm not exaggerating, if anybody doesn't know what I'm talking about,
done that.
every single one of those houses has like 30 stairs in front of the house.
Yes.
And it's you feel like you've gone to the gym afterwards. So lesson learned, if I ever run for another election or re-election in the city, I'm going to make sure to do just that one street on its own day because it's a workout. And just once again, congratulations to Selena and congratulations to Luke. I was so impressed with the way that you guys campaigned. And I'm really proud that all three of us had a very positive campaign, despite some of the not so positive things we might have saw happening in some of the virtual spaces. And I'm very proud to have, insisted to the public that nobody personally attacked Selena or anybody else who was running. And hopefully they'll extend that to me next time as well. And thanks for giving me.
Thank you so much. All right. Mr. Netler, the floor is yours.
And I'm assuming, Mayor, you'll go last. Actually, I shouldn't have said that I wanted to go last.
Oh, no, the mayor has a different approach she's going to take.
Okay.
I definitely posted on Facebook. I'll go ahead of you, Brian. Okay, you'll get the last word.
No. You should go last.
The last word. Brian Netler, you get the last word.
Okay.
I posted on Facebook that I had made my decision not to run. And I thanked folks for their service and for their help throughout the years. And I have a definite, that's why you will definitely have a meeting on Monday before the 8 o'clock meeting, because at that time I will do my real goodbye. But I just want to say, Brian, how dare you decide to leave when I leave? The floor is yours.
Well, it's an honor to exit at the same time as Mayor Melinda Miles. Let's put it that way. Oh my God, you guys, you said so many things that are just on my mind. So first of all, Luke, Ward 2 can claim Ella Washington as well because she owns a house on the 3800 block of 31st Street across from where I used to live. And that's where she's traveling. She travels between her two houses. And so Ward 2 can take a little claim to her as well. But yes, thank you for the kind words about Ella. The steps. Oh my God, Scott. I was thinking exactly when I used to live in one of those houses on 31st Street with 20 steps. And so, yes, all of us that have run campaigns know to do 31st Street, east side, last or first. Oh my God. Talk about your hips hurting. Wow. Anyway, that's beside the point. But it was just funny because, and the other thing is, my God, you guys, this plaque, I mean, it almost follows what I'm going to say. I had written all these notes myself, and I'm like, somebody was eavesdropping on me or whatever because they got all these points. But I'm going to say them anyway because this is my last time. And Linda, I'm doing this tonight because I don't want to take away from you or the new council members on their night. And as everyone knows, I did leave in 2011, and I had this fabulous party that the mayor, and then I kind of reneged on her and decided to come back. But I don't think she's regretting that a whole lot.
Not at all.
And they're going to get you, don't worry, I'm sure. So they did that to me tonight with Scott. I wondered why my neighbors were out there although there was a police car sitting in front of my house, and of course they're all nosy and they're like, what happened? Has he been murdered? What, they're all wondering what the hell's going on at 3005 Bunker Hill Road, because that never happens. So thank you for doing that. That was very sweet. It's been an honor to serve the city, and I know most people have already dropped off the call, but this is really for you all, my colleagues, not really for the public necessarily. Just a few final comments, and you have to put up with me. I never talk that much, but so I just want to make a few comments. Some of the recent highlights. First of all, it's been a pleasure working with you. As I said the other night, I think that this has been one of the best councils, even with some of our conflicts and our major issues with personnel and all the other things that have gone on. You might think that's horrible, but believe you me, in the last 20 years, we've had much worse. So, and hopefully you will not have to go through that. But some of the recent projects that I'm just thinking about, in the last few days that I'm proud of, I bring this up, this solar panel revenue. I mean, I never knew anything about solar panels, and Latasha was, I'm going to call her an angel. She worked with me. I mean, I never had that experience before where somebody actually tried to help me get through something and that I didn't understand. And she knew more about solar panels than I did, but we got it done. The purchase of the Gupta building, Mayor, oh my God. I watched you. It took like 10 years because we started 10 years ago. But in the last year, it was really serious. And my God, the energy you put into that, that's a highlight of my 20 years. Another one is getting that police station's lower level renovated after, actually the council Melinda was on before I was on the council, purchased that building in 1996. And it's still not done. So that tells you the arc of that whole story. But the biggest thing for me is just helping ordinary residents. I mean, the little tiny things, you guys will all understand this, the little tiny things, a pothole, or, we had this situation on 32nd Street with that tree that Pepco didn't take all the way down to the ground. Sometimes you just have to, hone in on a topic that seems so small and it's just about one person, but it's so important to them. And you have the power a lot of times to actually get Pepco or WSSC or the gas company or whoever to actually pay attention to this poor person that it could be you, and that's the way I look at it. It could be me. It could be me,
That's right.
with that tree that didn't get cut. Oh, it was going to cost me $3,000 or $4,000 because Pepco didn't do what they were supposed to do. So that's what rewarded me a lot of times. Things like the tax credits, getting the tax credits increased for homestead and for the longtime homeowners, increasing it, piggybacking with the city where the city could. Or a lot of things Melinda and I did not accomplish in her case, probably 30 years and mine 20 that we've been working on, annexation being one of them. And, it's not done, but, we got to let go at some point. Hopefully you will continue with that. The Civic Center, phase 1 is shovel ready. You got your building permits. Up to you guys to push that forward and make the city proud and have a real city hall with a real city council chamber, even though the one's currently named after yours truly, evidently. But I don't want that to be the council chamber. I want it to be in Potts Hall. So get it done. Another one was getting the city archives in order. Jimmy and I, that was not something that we really expected to take on, but we got it done. We've digitized so many things, cleaned out the old city hall basement and found all these old records that were moldering away. And it's been a real pleasure to do that just for future, people that might be interested in what happened and whatever. And then I have to, and only the mayor will get this joke, but yes, and you're absolutely right. I've written a many ordinance, and sometimes probably wished I hadn't. But so the first thing I did was write a noise ordinance, which we have today, although it's been rewritten a couple times since.
Yes.
And the tree ordinance I think rewrote at least twice, but a couple of them weren't so successful. They were a bit disastrous, and Melinda will laugh. The animal code, or remember the animal ordinance? we had somebody who had a kennel of dogs, and so I thought, oh, I need to revise this. Oh my God, what a total disaster. I wish I'd never touched it. So if you all look at the animal ordinance, that's my fault. And then of course the infamous porch sofa ordinance. It's still in the books, but that was quite the to-do as well. So there's been a few that have been pretty funny, actually, in hindsight. But you put your foot in it, you step in it, whatever. Anyway, so I just want to mention some of the major changes that I've seen in the 20 years. I mean, we did the Green Police Department, the police station. We were the first. That was
in the nation.
In the nation. It took a long time to get it built, but we got it. We did finally get the closure of Bass Liquors and purchased, consolidated all those properties. Thank you, Mayor. You were part of that. And getting that funeral home, that old dilapidated house. Now look what we're going to get. We're going to get a huge, hopefully, or you all are going to get, the city will get a huge new development. I worked very hard on the neighborhood conservation overlay zone, which I think also was mentioned in the plaque. You just are incredible. It's almost done. It's up to the county. Art Space was built in my tenure. The mayor was mayor, I think, at that point. The HIP building, that was a condemned building.
Right.
Before that, and we're city's part owner in that building. The 3300 block, the Singer block. Oh my God, Melinda, I don't know. You were here way before me, and I think that was like
I was here when it was operational.
Oh my God. Well, okay.
And Susan Bailey and Cindy Alexander and some of us wanted to stop those trucks from tearing up our streets. And so we stopped the big trucks from coming, not thinking it would kill the building and the business.
So that's finally redone after all these years. I mean, it was a pigeon roost for most of my tenure on council. But I think one of the biggest, and then I'm also very proud of this, mostly this, the past council and this council for supporting things like the social services coordinator. I think that was a very innovative idea. A lot of towns don't have. It may not have worked perfectly, and there's some kinks, but you'll get it figured out. But just to have somebody, and this is sort of that idea, Scott, of reworking policing. We have, and we were doing it before that was even a thing, right? We hired a social service coordinator to try to work with people that were in need. And then the grant writer, Liz Marshall's been wonderful, and that's something I think we needed for years and we didn't do. And it's just going to really help you all to move forward with getting more grant money. But the biggest thing I think of all is technology. I think Melinda will agree with me. I mean, oh my God. I mean, when we started on council, there was no internet. We were using dial phones, I think, at that point, as far as I remember. Maybe they were push buttons.
Pretty darn close.
But, to utilize the technology that's available at this point to communicate with your constituents. And I know you're all young and you do that. You're very good at social media and all that. But just keep in mind, there are a lot of people, and I know you know this, but there are a lot of people that don't have that technology.
Right.
And unfortunately, the message used to be the thing that everybody got. I haven't gotten one in 6 months. And so something needs to happen, whether you can use something to expand broadband to make it affordable to more of your residents, or I know Aaron's very good at the social media stuff, and that's another position that we really needed. And we realized a couple of fiascos that we needed a communications person. And so we added that as well. But I just want to make sure that you don't forget the people that don't have all those technology, and especially older residents or some people that are lower income that can't afford those things. So, please, keep that on your radar to do whatever you can, and I know you will. And so just a few last things, and you've heard this from me before. I think it's been mentioned already. Just remember to keep a long-term perspective. It's really, really hard, but Melinda and I have been 20, 30 years, and some of the projects that we started all that way back still aren't accomplished. Hard to believe. But, it's really easy to deal with a little low-hanging fruit, short-term, the pothole or the whatever, the leaf blowers or whatever it is. But you have bigger things to deal with, like annexation and the civic center and redevelopment especially. And also gentrification. That's going to become a bigger issue for you all than it ever was for us. And so good luck. I'm sure you'll have creative ideas. What else? So Scott, I know you abstained from that vote. And this is one of the things I really didn't want to deal with, that park, but this is not a one-off. There are many, many projects like that or ideas where you're going to have a vocal few people who are opposed because they like the status quo. And I think you all know this. You can't let progress be stopped by a few opponents. You really got to think about the good of the public and the city. And yes, you have to listen to the opponents and the critics and take their views, which I think we did, and move forward. But don't let it, stonewall you to not moving forward. You've got, especially with grant money, don't let that happen. Respect your differences. I know we've had our problems. We've been a kind of a dysfunctional family in some ways, behind the scenes at least, but it's not personal. It's about the benefit, the welfare of the city. And I mean, even Melinda and I, you think, I've always got her back. We always joined at the hip, whatever. But believe you me, we do vote opposite, but we still respect each other, even though we don't agree on everything. It's okay. She comes from a different place than I do, a little different perspective, and that's good. That's fine. But don't make it personal. Just accept the fact that not everybody's going to agree with you, and we represent probably a different, philosophy or whatever it might be, background, whatever. We come from different places, but just try to make sure you move forward. A couple more things and I'll stop. Please, please, please resist micromanaging your staff. And I think Latasha, said this more than once to me. She was a little unhappy with some of the micromanagement, and I was very guilty of that when I first started on council. Believe you, I was going through all those papers the other day in the archives in Potts Hall, and I saw from Lucille Dickinson, who was the city manager, her files. I was going through her files, Melinda, and there were all these written. Remember we used to have those sheets, those official sheets where you had to ask for things. Oh my God! I was looking at all my own handwriting and all the things I was asking for, and I was just I was cringing. But we have a city manager form of government. Make sure that you respect your city manager you're going to hire. Otherwise, you're not going to have that person very long. You can't undermine the authority of the city manager. They have to be respected by their staff. So just keep that in mind, and I know you will. And finally, my last comment, which you'll appreciate, other than I love you all, is time limits. We experimented with a few meetings where I insisted that you all are given a certain amount of time to talk on a particular topic. Somebody presented, and then each one of you were that is a godsend, and it worked. And I recommend to you, Selena, that you continue that as chair, because it brings equity. Because so many times over the years, people have been upset when somebody talked and then they didn't get the same amount of time. So I think just for the peace and the good order, I would really recommend that you go that route. And that's just kind of an underlying, foundation of making sure you all get along and there's nobody feeling like they got cut off or they didn't get the fair time that everybody else did. Other than that, I'll see you next Monday evening and pass the baton. And Mayor, appreciate you so much. And I will not be saying much I probably won't say anything next Monday, actually. I'll give you that time. And the rest of you, congratulations. And I'm around. I'm available.
Right. Thank you, Brian Netler.
Talking too much.
Thank you, Brian. Selena, I heard you.
Yeah, so Brian, just wanted to make one small correction. The chamber's name goes where chamber is. So once chamber moves to Potts Hall, your name is going along with it. So it's not saying where you hold it. So if chamber moves to a forest, it's going to be the Brian.
Do you move to the forest?
Right here. So just be aware. We'll continue working on the project and move it along with us wherever we go, including Potts Hall where it belongs. We wanted to make sure you knew that. We currently have it there, but it's going to be moved where it belongs to Potts Hall with us.
All right. Well, I'm just going to make the ask that you invite Melinda and I to the ribbon cutting for that building because I know for her, that was very special when she got the chance to get that building, and
I got it too. Thank you.
yeah, and she did. And so just, good luck. I hope the funding can come forward and it actually can happen in the future. Thank you.
Brian, thank you so much. And I will publicly acknowledge Brian as a friend, not just a council member. Brian is a friend. And I'll say this to you. Some of you have been to my house, and I will probably say Brian has never been to my house.
I've been to your house.
Well, once, twice in 40 years? And I think I've been to yours once. But my point is that you don't have to live with me to be a friend. Some of the things that we have done over the years, some of the accomplishments, it's amazing that he came from the Midwest and I came from the Deep South, and we believe so deeply in the same things, and we were able to focus our energy as such. I have had a very good conversation with Luke about what that means and what you mean to me. And I've had it with many others around the city. So I don't care about you leaving the council myself. I know where you're going. And I know your phone number. And I have every intention of harassing you to death. So thank you for all the years of service, Mr. Netler. And I appreciate you. I look forward to seeing all of us on Monday, because I don't want us to be here at 9:30. We actually finished our meeting at 8:29, I believe. And the kudos around has gotten us to 9:01. And I want us to get out of here. But I want to leave one thing for you to think about. And it's on my hit list, been on my hit list for 20 years. The solar idea and the solar panels were mine too. But I have been trying to Wi-Fi this city in its entirety for 15, if not 20 years. I believe your citizens deserve it. You have folks who could need it, could use it. And if you're talking about how to communicate with all the residents, at least making it available, you can't do better than Wi-Fi throughout the entire city. So I'm going to leave you with that. I would love a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
May I get a second?
Second.
All those in favor of adjourning, let it be known by aye.
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 And opposed, opposition, hearing none. This meeting is adjourned. I think we actually forgot to do the Pledge of Allegiance, guys. So that was my first meeting at which I did not do the pledge, and Brian did not get to say, "Under God we trust." So there. I'll let you off the hook, brother. This meeting is adjourned. You didn't catch that one, did you?
No, that's unfair.
Well, that's all right. I know what I did for you. Have a good evening.
Thank you, guys. Gonna miss y'all.
Bye-bye.